Wellness has become a really big category. There's tons of influencers on social media and companies in that space with product recommendations and advice, but it can be so hard to know what's really good for you and what just looks good for marketing. Karen Howard, Executive Director of the Organic and Natural Health Association, she is joining us now. Karen, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Karen, let's talk about some of the advice on how people can take care of themselves. Walk me through what we really should be focusing on.
Well, obviously, the most easy thing to think about, right, is good rest, good food, good, just taking care of yourself through exercise. And I think we all do that pretty well. But at the same time, with all these rising costs, we're sort of like hesitant to go spend money when we think we don't need to, whether it's going to the doctor for, whatever. And everyone needs to take care of themselves. And I think what we're here to share today is how supplementation can really support your health significantly as long as you know how to source your ingredients, what your levels are, and where to buy these products.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's start with the basics. What does smart self-care really mean?
Smart self-care means that you have an understanding that everything that goes into your body has an impact on what your health outcomes will be. So in that case, what we find is that almost all of Americans are deficient in omega-3. 90% are deficient in vitamin D, and anywhere from 50 to 80% of us are deficient in magnesium. And those three ingredients, what like to call my trifecta, are incredibly important to sustainable continual health.
You know, Karen, I've seen on social media a lot of folks, they are turning into supplements right now, and they are taking a lot of pills, but it can get confusing very fast. People often think it's more expensive or labeled organic, that it's safer. Is that actually true?
I think there's a quality issue everybody needs to be extremely aware of, and going to those seals is a really good way to do it. That organic seal is a gold standard, and it needs to say USDA organic. It's like the non-GMO project with the butterfly, another great seal. And so if you look, and one more, NSF, which has a rigorous process for making sure that you meet all the criteria that the federal government stands for supplements. And if you see those seals, you have wiped out 75 to 85% of your problem. Plus, you have the added advantage of natural grocers being in your backyard, and they are a member of ours, and they have amazing staff that can help you wade through this large amount of data and information.
Karen, very good information there. You were talking about some of the missing key supplements. What are the most common gaps, and how can people fix to do that?
Well, I think vitamin D is probably the best place to start. And if you don't know your levels, then I would recommend you go to our site, which is nutrientpower.org, and it speaks to all of the contents and the reasons for these three supplements I'm talking about today. And it allows you to go, if you're not going to the doctor and asking for blood tests to see your levels, because you really need to know your levels, it allows you to go to our partner, Grassroots Health, and you can buy test kits for one or all three of these. And then you can really begin to measure the impact of what you're doing. Because when you take an aspirin, you feel an effect. But when you take supplements, sometimes it just seems like I just took supplements.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Karen, one last question. I think we have like 10 seconds real quick. A lot of viewers are trying to stay healthy, especially me right now. I'm in a health kick, but I don't want to break the bank. So what are a few easy, affordable ways?
Eat well. I mean, if you're going to do vitamin D, you can do it in the sun. Most people don't like that, and save yourself some time and money. But, where you skimp, it's like if you want to work out instead of going to a gym, yes, but you can't short yourself on food and nutrition.
Some really good advice. Karen, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.